Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio, and the third season of the Orville just concluded, and this is a last-minute video because I just came across this article from Screen Rant here, and that is everything we know about the Orville Season 4, and in my opinion, there really should be a parentheses at the end of this that says "so far," because right now the information we have about it is very limited, but with where Season 3 headed, the future looks good for if there is a season 4. Again, we don't know if there's a season 4. With the Orville's future in doubt following the season 3 finale, here's everything we know about the season about season 4 of Seth MacFarlane's sci-fi comedy drama. Again, I want to emphasize so far. And before I go any further, I want to also make this claim that there will be spoilers for the third season of the Orville. So if you choose to go on any further and you have not watched the third season of the Orville or you have not finished it, you have effectively been warned. With the release of the Orville Season 3 finale on Hulu, attention turns to the series' potential for a Season 4. Seth MacFarlane's sci-fi comedy drama made the move from Fox to Hulu for Season 3, eventually returning to screens in 2022 after several delays caused by the coronavirus pandemic and shifting television schedules. Renamed The Orville New Horizons, the show has dialed down the comedy to become a more mature and politically astute show than in preceding seasons, and I would argue that The Orville has been toning down the comedy since Season 1. You know, the only episode that really leaned very heavily into the comedy was the pilot. Ever since then, the comedy has been gradually been phased out until you get up to Season 3. It's hoped that the cast and crew will be able to build on the successes of the Orville Season 3 by producing a follow-up season. Disappointingly for viewers and show creatives, the future of the Orville is currently in doubt. At the time of writing and recording of this video, there are no future episodes in development as all 3 seasons of the Orville release on Disney Plus later in August 2022. As the creator of Family Guy, which was canceled after 3 seasons, and yes, I believe it was canceled twice, Seth MacFarlane is no stranger to surviving cancellation. The show's popularity in syndicated repeats and DVD sales ensured that the show returned to Fox, which amazingly will air Family Guy Season 21 in September of 2022. As a result, a similar demonstration of the Orville's popularity on both Hulu and Disney Plus could secure the show's future. Here's everything we know about the Orville Season 4, and again, I want to emphasize so far. In the first section that they pose is that will the Orville Season 4 even happen? Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, this was San Diego Comic-Con 2022 for those of you watching this in the future as some sort of time capsule. Seth MacFarlane said that the Orville Season 4 has not yet been commissioned, making Season 3 an unofficial final season. He stated that a decision on the Orville Season 4 would depend on the show's popularity on Disney+. It's therefore unlikely for a decision to be made on the show's future until long after the Orville Season 3's ending. And then Orville Season 4 cast, who could return? As the Orville's creator, writer, director, and star Seth MacFarlane is the only cast member guaranteed to come back for the Orville Season 4. With the show's future in doubt, the entire cast was released from their contracts when filming wrapped in August 2021. It's obviously not impossible for these contracts to be renegotiated if and when the Orville Season 4 is commissioned, but the cast's freedom to pursue new projects could complicate such discussions. Scott Grimes, who played Gordon Malloy in the Orville, could potentially return for Season 4 given his continuing relationship with Seth MacFarlane via a role in the upcoming TED TV show. And I will say this, I will interject, that if Hulu waits too long to greenlight the 4th season of the Orville, this is going to be like what's happening right now with Star Trek 4, the sequel to Star Trek Beyond, where Paramount jumped the gun and said, yes, Star Trek 4 is happening, and then not even like 2 or 3 days later, you had representatives for Chris Pine, Zachary Quino, and Carl Urban all come out and say, "Oh, we didn't know Star Trek 4 was happening." So again, if they wait too long, is it going to be yet another Star Trek 4 where, you know, Hulu is going to jump the gun and announce Season 4, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming out going, "Oh, I didn't know it was happening," and then it leads to a bunch of complicated negotiations until it gets to the point where it's quietly canceled because everybody's demanding too much money. But again, enough of the tangent. That's my only real concern right now when they're talking about that season 4 has not been commissioned, and now that the actors have all been let go, is that going to lead to more drama down the line? And that's just something we're going to have to wait and see. I cannot give a definitive answer. And then here's the third section of it. The Orville Season 4 story. What does Season 3 set up? And this is where we get into the spoiler territory here. The Orville made peace with their Borg-like Kaylon enemies in Season 3's penultimate episode. And here's one thing I'm going to say with this article. The Kaylon are nothing like the Borg. Right, with the Borg, the Borg wanted to assimilate all of the known universe. The Kaylon wanted to wipe out all of the known universe. There is a huge difference between the Borg and the Kaylon. I always compared the Kaylon to something like Mr. Data from Star Trek The Next Generation if Data was more evil. That's pretty much all the Kaylon were. But anyway, so the Kaylons will be the Union's allies in the Orville Season 4. The main threat for any future season of the Orville would likely be the Krill/Moclan alliance, which are essentially the Orville's version of Star Trek's Cardassians and Klingons. And I will, and one thing I am going to say with the Krill/Moclan alliance is that they have been teasing a war. The Orville has been teasing a war with the Moclans ever since the third episode of season 1. When Topa was born female and then they transitioned him to male, with the whole idea of how long can an alliance with these people genuinely last, and obviously the Krill have been enemies from day one, and then obviously the peace treaty that tried to get signed in season 3 is pretty much dead in the water. If you've seen the third season, here we go. After peaceful negotiations with the Krill broke down, see, I was getting a little ahead of myself here. After peaceful negotiations with the Krill broke down with the election of an extremist candidate and the Moclans' expulsion from the Union for their bigotry, the two races banded together. Well, what didn't help the Krill was that they tried to kill the Union diplomats. That pretty much killed any sort of peace treaty, and the Union just got sick of the Moclans, so it's like, you know what? Fuck it, we'll find a way to deal with the Kaylon ourselves. The Orville Season 3 explored the personal and emotional impact of the Kaylon War on android Isaac and Moclan bigotry on Bortus's family. A fraught political situation with the Krill and Moclans would provide rich material for future stories in the Orville Season 4. This I do agree. Ed's half-Krill daughter and Bortus, Clyda, and Topa's Moclan origins would be similarly impacted by galactic events, further exploring the Orville's new thematic horizons in Season 4. And then finally, it's a Season 4 release date prediction. The answer to the question of the Orville Season 4 release dates lies in the Season 3's finale episode title, appropriately titled Future Unknown. It ends with a song by Gordon about enjoying the passage of time. The song feels appropriate given the 3-year gap between the Orville Season 2 finale and its Season 3 premiere. While the pandemic had a role to play in the delays, the shift from Fox to Hulu presumably also played a part. Given the lack of contracted cast members and the Orville's uncertain future, the best case scenario is that there will be a similarly large gap between seasons 3 and 4. The worst case scenario is that the Orville Season 3 is the last one, and if that's the case, then the answer to the question of the show's future will be answered much sooner. And that would be a huge disservice to the show, especially with what Season 3 set up, is that basically Season 3 set up their own version of the Dominion War with this alliance between the Krill and the Moclans. So if it's not followed up on, it's gonna essentially be relegated to fan fiction or a couple of official novelizations released by a couple of writers from the show. But the Orville, if it's not greenlit for a season 4, is always going to exist in this what if. Like I said, they pretty much set up their own version of the Dominion War that could last for multiple seasons on end. So if it doesn't come back for season 4, it is a what if. What if the Orville continued on? Where would the show have gone? I mean, obviously, I want a 4th season to happen, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here before I drag this out for any longer than it needs to be. Again, this is all speculation. We truly don't know if a 4th season is going to happen or not going to happen. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer it's obviously more news is going to come out, so I'll keep you guys updated. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and truly end it right here because I know I've dragged this on longer than it needs to be. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.